Hello, welcome to Progressive Short Takes. I'm your host, Joe Firestone. What I want to talk about now is the eviction moratorium action taken by the administration and Donald Trump. There was an article by Dave Dayen on September the 2nd entitled "The Federal Eviction Moratorium is a Leaky Boat," and it appeared in his unsanitized column at the American Prospect. He starts off by saying, unsanitized, that's his column, gets results. Says, that's my biased takeaway at the federal response to our story yesterday about the uncertain future for tens of millions of renters facing eviction, including Miguel de Lara of Reading, Pennsylvania. Within hours, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention issued an emergency order barring evictions for non-payment of rent until the end of the year. This will definitely help some people like her survive for now. However, it's not as rosy as it seems. Nationwide order uses the CDC's authority under the Public Health Service Act. It positions eviction moratoria as public health measure preventing the spread of COVID-19, both by allowing individuals to isolate and preventing large congregations in homeless shelters or shared housing. You can see the order as an application of President Trump's executive action to deal with evictions and foreclosures announced last month. The CDC order, however, says nothing on foreclosures for homeowners. To become eligible, renters would have to sign a declaration form and present it to their landlord. It states that the renters earn less than $99,000 a year, $198,000 for joint households, and that they're unable to pay full rent despite making efforts to obtain assistance. They also need to declare that they will make full efforts at partial payments and would become homeless if they were evicted. The last section of the declaration is crucial. Quote, I understand that any false or misleading statements or omissions may result in criminal and civil actions for fines, penalties, damages, or imprisonment, unquote. Then Dave says, who knows what landlords might do to prove that a renter lied on their form? Hire a private investigator, take the tenant to court. This could put lots of renters in legal jeopardy, and just the intimation of criminal and civil penalties could be enough to keep renters from triggering this protection, or supposed protection, or intended protection. He goes on, the order does not and could not cancel rent or relieve people of the obligation to pay, nor does it provide rental assistance for past due amounts. CDC simply doesn't have that authority. Landlords could still charge fees and interest on unpaid rent, and after the order runs out on December 31st, ask for all the past due payments upon threat of eviction. At best, this delays the reckoning, which is good, but not a sustainable solution. Perhaps the most important, tenants could still be evicted under the eviction moratorium. Any evictions for something other than non-payment of rent would be allowable. This is precisely the issue housing advocates have with California's eviction moratorium passed on Monday. As I explained yesterday, landlords are ruthless enough to harass renters or use any pretext to get them out of the house, claiming loud music or structural damage or some other violation of the lease. The renters usually don't have the expertise or the resources to defend themselves in housing court. Landlords will figure out non-payment reasons to kick out non-paying tenants, quote unquote, I wrote yesterday. I don't know why a health order would allow evictions for other reasons if the important thing is the safety of residents to have shelter, but this CDC order does have that shortcoming. Landlords have also been known to retaliate against tenants, and those who present this declaration to stay in the rental unit for the rest of the year would be prime targets. You could envision a landlord cutting the hot water or boring a hole in the house to let cool air in, or just simply delay repairs. I heard yesterday about precisely this scenario from a housing advocate in Florida. You'd think destroying your own property wouldn't be an ideal option for a landlord, but it happens. There are criminal justice penalties for violating the eviction ban, but the CDC doesn't have a police force to enforce this order. Landlords are better equipped than tenants to work on the edges of the law. Anyway, the Trump administration got what they wanted out of this. Headlines in the papers claiming an eviction moratorium for an order that could still allow evictions, actually making sure it happens. That sounds like liberal, good government pablum. I couldn't agree more. And that, of course, raises the question in the title, is this a real moratorium or is it just another publicity stunt? Simply an attempt by the administration to say, see, we're doing something. See, we're doing something. We're trying to help you, but we can't really help. We're doing what we can, but it's really up to the Congress. But we're doing what we can. Don't blame us. Don't. And of course, it's don't blame us, while they're doing everything they can to stick tight to their position of not wanting to give people too much help in this crisis. They want to appear that they're giving help to people, but of course, they don't want to give the kind of help that would be given to people by the HEROES Act or some other legislation that is now on the table. They oppose $600 a week unemployment payments. Oh, they oppose a basic income every month for as long as COVID asks. They're opposing real help. They're mainly concerned to put Band-Aids on this problem and not do anything real. So let us keep that in mind. Let us not fail to recognize that while this is something, it's better than nothing. It's in part a smokescreen. Keep that in mind. That's the truth. And that's this progressive shortcake. So I'll see you soon with another progressive shortcake. Trying to keep these as short as I can. Thank you for coming. I'll end it now.